And it was because of this programming block that I misspelled the word night for a good portion of my childhood. Can I tell you something? Sometimes Americans misspell words on purpose. Why would they do that? Well, perhaps it just looks cool. Or maybe they're a business and they want their business to stand out. In that case, we would call it sensational spelling. Or maybe just because it's easier to write or send in a text message. Regardless, there are a number of words that are commonly misspelled on purpose. And this can be tricky for English learners who want to spell words the standard way, the correct way, especially when they are writing exams. And these words are misspelled incorrectly so often that even some Americans think that the misspelling is the standard spelling. We'll go over 10 of these words right now. Keep watching. Our first word is donut, or is it donut? The official and preferred spelling of this word is donut, like this. But if you've lived in the United States long enough, you've definitely come across this spelling, the simplified and shortened version. In fact, it has become so common that it has become an accepted form in many American dictionaries. And just look at our famous donut chain, Dunkin Donuts. How could you tell them that they're wrong? But just make sure in formal settings and probably outside of the United States, this donut is the preferred spelling. If you were a child growing up in the 1990s in the United States, you probably watched a programming block on the children's network Nickelodeon called Nick at Nite.
Nickate, Nickate, Nick at Night for me.
Better living through television.
And it was because of this programming block that I misspelled the word night for a good portion of my childhood. I used the simplified spelling that they used, N-I-T-E, instead of N-I-G-H-T, the official standard spelling of the word night, the correct spelling. And it didn't help that I was constantly around products that would use this popular misspelling. So remember, English learners, make sure you use the proper spelling of night, N-I-G-H-T, in formal settings, and save N-I-T-E for your text messages and when you're writing with friends. Do you work Monday through Friday? Do you prefer ordering fast food at the counter or at the drive-thru? Through is another word that Americans intentionally misspell. But please remember, this is just an informal spelling of the word through, sensational spelling used by businesses, and an informal, casual writing. But in formal settings requiring correct spelling, please, please, please use through.
Light bright, making games with Lite.
Make pretty pictures with Light Bright. Light bulb not included from Hasbro.
Oh, I sure loved playing with my Light Bright as a child, but it definitely did not help me with my English. Make sure to only use this light in informal settings, and if you need to spell it the correct way, use L-I-G-H-T. If you like to wear clothes by the popular American brand Nike, you might be familiar with their Dry Fit line. Yes, those clothes that are designed to keep you dry and zap away that sweat. I should maybe start selling clothes for Nike. But they do not spell dry in the traditional way, folks. Some people might suffer from hyperhidrosis. Hyperhidrosis. Let's break that word down. Hyper, a prefix meaning above and beyond. Hydro, another word part meaning water. And osis, meaning a condition or a state. So it's the state of being watery. Okay, it's just a word we use to describe the condition of sweating too much. And if you have this condition, hyperhidrosis, you might use this product, Certain Dry. Spelled the same way that Nike spells dry, but in a way that you should not use unless you are in informal settings or talking about one of these sensational spellings. D-R-Y, that is the correct spelling. Sometimes people write right when they mean right, right? Right, R-I-T-E, is an actual word with its own meaning. A rite is a religious or ceremonial act. Maybe you've heard of this phrase, a rite of passage. And many religions have different rites of passages. And a rite of passage is a religious or ceremonial act where one person leaves one group to go into another, usually higher group, or from one stage of life to another stage of life. And in Judaism, a rite of passage would be the bar mitzvah or the bat mitzvah, when a boy or girl gains more responsibility and becomes a full-fledged member of the Jewish community. But we also have right, which means correct. But sometimes English learners and even us native English speakers use right when we want to say right. And it does not help that we have this drugstore chain, Rite Aid. Another sensational spelling. Just remember that right is a religious or ceremonial act, and right means correct. Love is a common intentional misspelling of love. You might see this written in your text conversations. You might see this version of love used for popular songs, or if you have a young child, they might use this brand of diapers, Loves. Just remember, it's not to be used in formal situations. I don't think there's a person on this earth that doesn't know what Google is. Google is the most popular search engine in the world, and it is an intentional misspelling or a sensational spelling of the word Google. Google is a number with 100 zeros behind it. And the founders of the search engine Google used this intentional misspelling in order to stress or exaggerate the amount of information you could receive from just one search. But remember, if you are talking about this number with 100 zeros behind it, can't really imagine that many cases in which you would use G-O-O-G-O-L. Thank you for watching. If you found this video useful, make sure to give me a like. If you found this video entertaining, make sure to give me a like. Subscribe to this channel if you have not already, and if you're interested in more English videos. And until next time, English learners.